9 creepy urban legends that are totally true. When you think of urban legends, you may think of creepy, scary stories meant to scare someone. In most cases, urban legends are myth, but some of the creepiest legends are true. Telephones and lightning. An old urban legend states that a man died while talking on his phone because lightning struck his phone line and killed him instantly. A few people have actually died from electrocution this way, most recently a 64-year-old man in 2006. There is a definite risk when talking on a landline during a thunderstorm, so if you have to make a call, use a cell phone. The man with the lumpy bag. Ever heard the story of a woman on a bus who sits next to a creepy man carrying a large duffel bag? A few nights later, as the woman is sitting at home watching the news, she learns an escapee from a mental institution known for dismembering bodies was on the loose. You see where this is going. Mental patients escape rather frequently, and back in 2011, a monk attempted to bring a suitcase filled with human bones through an Athens airport. You are not alone in your house. A 57-year-old man lived by himself, or so he thought. He kept noticing things out of place and food missing when he'd come home from work, so he did what any person would do. He set up cameras all over his house. When he reviewed the footage, he saw a woman crawling out of a cupboard, the same cupboard he was standing next to as he watched the video. He immediately left the house and called the police, who discovered that the woman had been living there for at least a year. The escalator that eats people. Your mother probably told you to make sure you tie your shoelaces before stepping on an escalator. Little did you both know at the time that there is fact behind the urban legend which claims a person was pulled into an escalator by a rogue shoelace. In 2003, a young girl lost part of her fingers when she reached down to free her trapped shoe. Another man got the strings of his hoodie stuck in an escalator and the machine strangled him to death. Organ thieves are real. You've heard of people getting abducted and knocked out, waking up later in an ice bath with a fresh scar and a kidney missing. There are documented cases of this actually happening, particularly in the Eastern European of Moldova. You think your first day at a new job was nerve-wracking? At least you aren't Mohammed Salim, an Indian man who reported to a construction site only to have his kidneys stolen. Skeleton in the wall. Everyone's heard of the tale of workers discovering a body buried in the walls while renovating an old building. Unfortunately for your nightmares, bodies have been discovered in the walls, under mattresses, and stuck in chimneys. In 2010, a woman attempted to enter the house of her former boyfriend through the chimney, but got stuck and died there. The house sitter discovered her remains. Time to wake up. You've probably had a horrifying vision of yourself lying in a coffin, only to realize that you're not dead, but buried alive. Guess what? This really happened. In September 2014, a Greek woman tried desperately to dig her way out of the coffin in which she lay buried. Doctors believe she tried for about an hour to dig her way out, to no avail. The family had already left the cemetery at the time, but supposedly neighbors of the cemetery heard her frantic cries, as did some kids playing outside. Dead body under the mattress. This urban legend claims that a couple checked into a hotel room and spent the night with the worst smell anyone could imagine. They began searching the room for the source of the odor and came across a rotting corpse shoved into the box spring. As unlikely as this story sounds, it actually happened in Las Vegas, Kansas City, Atlantic City, and California. In each of these cities, guests found a dead body under the bed or stuffed into the box springs. Realistic Halloween decoration. Unfortunately, some people lack the common sense to keep them alive. This urban legend speaks of a person who accidentally hangs himself while trying to scare trick-or-treaters on Halloween. In Frederica, Delaware, a 42-year-old woman died in precisely this way. People walked by her all night thinking she was an elaborate decoration. Authorities found her and cut her down the next day.